Hi there. Welcome to Freaking Jeep. My name's John, and what we got is a sick ROOVERS machine. If you guys been up to the Bunion show and gotten one of these tapes, anyway, we were giving those away up at the Bunion show, and what happened is it kind of broke a little bit. So I talked to a real nice gentleman up at ROOVERS, great guy. His name was Pete, I think. I wrote his name down, I brought a card down, and I forgot what I did with all of it. I had the parts number. Boy, I'm a knucklehead. Anyway, so I'm going to go through and show you kind of what it's doing. When you roll this around, it hangs up here, which I think it's the cutting pin that's hitting. Okay, so now you can't move it. But if you pick this up a hair, then you can move it again. And then if you do a, we'll do a stamp here. 1, 2, 3 number. Then you come around to stamp it out. It locks up again. And what I think it's happening is it's holding the tape up in there. And if you get in there with this thing and punch the tape out, you can hear it click out sometimes. Maybe not. There it goes. Now it'll turn. So I think it's getting stuck down in there. So I'm going to take it apart a little bit piece by piece and kind of go over what I'm finding to give Pete an idea, or the people up there that work on these, the idea, because we got to get this thing fixed, because this has been a mainstay here for at least 30 years probably. I've made more tags here and more tags there for this and that and the other thing, and a million kids tags named. So I'm going to be taking this assembly apart here and measuring things. I'm going to be taking, maybe that's all I'll take apart. Maybe I'll take this apart. This is the guide chute for this. I know that when it's gone over, it's bumped this and raised this up. These are little things that fold in. But I mainly think that the problem might be in this part here. This is up as far as the springs will push it. Okay? Because there's a casting in there that keeps it from coming up. So anyhow, I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to take this apart, micrometer some stuff, and then bring you back along. So this is a video that most people that watch my channel don't want anything to do with. So if you're not interested in this, it's just going to be on the ROOVERS tape machine, so Pete can see it and the people up at ROOVERS can see it, and maybe save me a trip going up there. So I appreciate you coming by this far anyway, and we'll see you back in a minute when I do some measuring some stuff. Thank you now. Bye-bye. Welcome back. Just thought for the heck of it, we'd see how much this beast weighs. As I know, everybody wants to know, including myself. It scales in at, can you read that? 193, or not 193, 93 pounds. I thought it was getting heavier and heavier. It's quite a bit for me to wrestle around, but just thought it was something interesting. Here's some of the tags we've made at the different Bunion shows. Every one of those represents a tag. Anyhow, that's just kind of goofy, useless information. Now I'm going to slide it over. It sits in there. I'm going to slide it over from here to on there. That's a hydraulic table, and that's going to pick it up and put it over on the table over there. Next challenge. So we'll be back in a bit. Well, it was about an inch away from getting there. So I think I can scoot it over there. We'll be back in a minute or two. All right, I haven't taken any of this stuff apart yet, but some of the thing is right here. Can you see that play? If you get it up this high, it goes through here. Okay, when you let that go down, you can see it hang up. See it hang up there and there? But as soon as this comes up, then you don't have a problem. All right, we're gonna get to I'm gonna take that apart and measure it. Oh, I already did measure it. Okay, so it's got 50 thousandths, it goes up 50 thousandths more when it's where it's at now. It's from this point to this point, it's 0.078, and when you pick it up, it's 128. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to disassemble. Bye-bye. Now what I've done is I've taken the screws out of here and here, and that goes over here with those two screws, and this goes over here with this two screws. Lets you, I guess, yeah, this is assembly where, this is a part that I think may have gone bad. And this is what I'm going to measure. I think this pin is too far out. And I noticed that it's missing its pin on this side. So I think this is where the problem might be. I don't know what holds those pins in. I guess that's that pin right there. Maybe it comes in and it's got to be, yeah, that pin is definitely coming out. So, and I just pushed it in. So that pin moves. I think that might be where the problem is. That it's pulling, it's not dying right. It's not hitting the die right. Now I guess there could be some problem down in there. Let me get the flashlight that I thought I had. That's what that looks like in there. That looks pretty good. That is the spring. That's the top of the spring, but that's a piece of the spring that I put in there to make it come up higher. But that really didn't affect it. Didn't affect anything. Or I put another piece in there. That might just be the regular spring. There's 3 pieces in there, so I'm going to take that apart now. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Well, I got all that out. I'm guessing everything looks good there. I don't see any cracks or broken pieces, which is good. This is where I think the problem is. Oops, let me get this flashlight off of that. This pin here is loose. You can see that. And I just happen to have the perfect pin puller. See but you can take there and wiggle that pin out. So I think that might be what the problem is. So how do you get that pin to go in there and stay in there? It looks like there's a little ridge there, so it looks like maybe it goes, I don't know how far it goes down. I don't want to tap it too hard. It seems like it's bottomed out there. There's got to be maybe a set distance between this cutter edge and this. That's where I'm thinking the problem is. I haven't seen to see if this spins now. Yeah, it spins without any problem. So the problem is in that head. Now, here's the 3 springs. They all look good and straight. They don't look mangled or anything like that. They're 3 different lengths, which is probably the way it's supposed to be, because that's the way it shows in the book. And the last one, you might want to flip it over, but the last one fits in this groove to keep that up all the way. And it can't come up any higher. The spring can't push it up any higher because it bottoms out on this casting right here. So even if you put this in, okay, and put this, if you drop this, got to go this way. Hard to do this with a camera. If you put that in all the way, and I guess there is maybe that little play in there, but the way maybe it's got to come up higher. I'm not sure, but that's the play. If it comes up to here, it doesn't have a problem, but I don't know at what point the tape goes below that, I guess. I don't know. That's where I'm kind of confused. But this can't come up any higher than it is, so that play must be in this part here. That 50,000, that looks like it could be 50,000 is what we measured. So this comes up all the way to the top of the casting right here. See the casting right there? Push that in, push that down in there again. Come on, get in there, buddy. And that goes in. So that's the play. It didn't go in. Anyhow, you guys get that. I'm going to take a little more stuff apart, I think. Back in a bit. Guys, I think this pin is what the problem is. This pin is got different little ridges in it, and maybe it's supposed to go down in there like that, and then maybe some like Loctite goes in there and locks that ridge in. And if it had been up, so it's definitely loose. I don't know if that's the right side. I think that's the side it came out of, but it's loose. I think that's where the problem is. Now maybe I can just buy a whole new thing here and the cutter will be sharper. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm seeing. All right, later. Guess I need to know if there's a, I can't do this on like that. That's about 50 thousandths, 54 thousandths. But if it scooted up a little bit, that would be could be the problem. Anyhow, this is a T20, and this is the serial number H-201-472. So that might be helpful. Be back in a bit. I found the center pin going through this thing to be loose, so this thing could come up and go down. So I'm shimming it with, I don't know, I think 10/1000ths of an inch clearance there would probably be right. I don't have a book on it, so I'm just guessing. So there's an Allen set on the other side. I'm going to tighten that up. I just scribed around these, this here and this here. I'm going to take this off. This guides, from what I know, this guides this down in there. And if you have, when you're making a tape, if you're not, you can't see it. When you're making a tape, if you're not directly in the center, it stretches it one way or the other and makes these things curve. So you want it to stay straight, and you need it to be, punching at the top side, the bottom side of the letter's got to be equal, or these tapes come out and they curve. So I'm getting ready to pull this out and kind of see how bad. This is the little guide things here. They kind of wrap around the thing a little bit. I'll have to pull the tape out. So that's where I'm going next. Bye-bye. I got this piece out. This is a guide piece. It goes in basically like this. If you don't know, the ROOVERS guys know. It's polished off right in here and right here. I think maybe that's somewhere where I've tried to clean it up a little bit. And down here, this may have to be replaced, but it really doesn't. It's worked for a long time. The only thing that this might be a little bit high here. I can put a straight edge on it and see how that is. You can see the scribes where I got it, so I should be able to get it in pretty close to where it was. All right, be back in a bit. Found something else, which you probably can't see. This wobbles in here, so I thought that's not good. Now if it's glued, do you know if you're on the high side of the wobble or the low side of the wobble? Don't really know. It's curious if there's a way to set that, and I put that in there to. I also noticed that it's got a little like point to it, and this is concave or convex. I don't know, concave. Anyhow, that's just some more looking at. Well, I think the parts that I need are probably these parts here, but I don't know if they're interchangeable with my machine or not. I'd have to change that. I guess you got to push this pin through. That's the pin I just tightened. This thing seems to go around fine. If you look at it, and maybe the new ones do too, that it's got a little bit of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. See how it kind of wobbles up and down a little bit. I can't move the camera here. Let me see if I can move the camera and get it. And I got a feeling they may all do that. I don't know if you can see how it goes up and down, but when it stamps, this is flexible. It should make up for it. I don't know. I didn't pull that out. To go any further, you got to. I think you got to maybe take this pin out through the bottom, or take this whole assembly here off. I'm not sure which way to go, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. Anyhow, that's kind of where I'm at. This is hopefully helpful for you to diagnose my machine, and I appreciate your time. Thank you now. And everybody that's come by and seen it. It's kind of an interesting machine. I'm going to put it all back together now, and I'll probably take this piece here and buy some Loctite and put that in there. Clean this out real good. You can see how loose that is. Push that down, and now it might have something that it might have a pin or something that goes in there and holds that in, and that's gone because there is a groove on this pin here. I don't know, but I'm gonna clean that up real well, get some Loctite and put on there and see if that'll stay in place. So that's where I'm at for now. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and like I said, every time you're here, you're going to see something different. Bye-bye.